everybody's got their own pregame ritual. You know, like I'll put my motes back, I'll take a last sip of tea, I'll check if my mic pack is plugged in.
I'll pose for the thumbnail. You can tell who puts it on YouTube, am I right?
That's what that is.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm always... Because then I'm going to take a screen cap and use that as the thumbnail.
Got it.
Amir's finally behind the curtain. I wonder whether at some point we should just show people the setup. Not like on stream, because I think that'd be kind of hard, but like, you know, take photos or something.
Do a Facebook Live tour.
Oh,
We could.
Actually, that's a great idea.
We could.
Pre-stream. That's not a bad idea.
Or Instagram story. Yeah, I'll think about it.
Can I shout this out, John, real quick?
Yeah,
Weirdness
yeah.
just resubbed. Thank you so much. Another month of zany Beanduck goodness. May the #heroes killing spree continue. Well, I mean, it's like a code now.
Yeah.
We've started something that
Horrible,
cannot be stopped.
horrible code.
Just touching my ear.
See?
Don't think anything of it.
It's just what we have to put up. But this is full party. Hi to the people who are coming in, who are filtering in. It's sort of like the magic of Twitch, and just sort of like a theater, except the doors are always open. You can walk in whenever you want, and you know, and you can still piss people off by being way too loud in chat while you're coming in.
Yeah.
Just like the theater.
But food is welcome.
Yes.
Encouraged, even.
Oh.
Not for us. Sorry.
I like to imagine the entire chat is just sitting at home eating wings. No one else? No.
Can you send some of those? I have a P.O. box.
I like to think that it's individually they're shelling sunflower seeds
Oof.
and just popping them into the mouth.
It reminds me of the scene in LARPs with Jeff and the sunflower seeds.
I was made today in a Starbucks close to here. Just before we arrived, somebody recognized me.
Oh, wow.
You were also recognized in a Starbucks, weren't you?
Yeah, like 3 years ago.
That's crazy.
The
What is it
same
with
dude?
Starbucks?
That would be amazing.
It was,
I hope so.
Hangs out in
it was a
Starbucks
really
waiting for
pleasant
LARPs
woman
people.
who was just like, are you from LARP? Like very nervous. It was very cute.
That's
It's awesome.
wonderful.
I kind of hope that she's watching right now.
Hello, Starbucks person. We love you.
We're going to call you Starry Eyes.
It happens like once every 6 months. It
Never gets old, though.
Pretty good.
actually happened at work today too. Anyway,
It's John's day.
apparently, coolest celebrity right here in Montreal. I am looking forward to today. I hope the rest of you are too.
Yes.
I do have to say that while normally at this point I'd be calling out Riverwall's Google document, and I think I still will, for those of you who want to check up, he's sadly not with us today.
Oh.
But that doesn't mean we don't love you anyway. You don't have to hum with the music, Scott.
Sorry,
It's
it's
playing.
so fucking good, man. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I love it so much. I am along on the rewatch to myself as well. It's true. Oh God. I had to take some water.
Did you guys spend any experience?
Yeah.
3 of you. Not from Captain Spend-A-Lot from last
No,
episode.
I'm saving up for something truly lavish.
Ooh.
All of whatever charms Nyx has purchased, basically.
I was thinking scarf wrapping at Timmy.
But only doing it better. Liz, what'd you get?
I got awareness 3.
Scott?
Medicine 3.
And Jess.
I think I got integrity 4 and increasing strength exercise.
Whoa.
I think.
What do you mean? I think.
Those are some hefty
I
purchases, yo.
can't
Because
remember what
Jess
I...
is actually the only one who messages me in between sessions
Usually
the day
the
after
next day.
to say, oh, this is what I'm getting. Like, you're on it.
Cool.
You're on the ball.
Yeah.
Nice.
Guys, this is session 9.
Time flies.
You know what happens after session 10? You ding up.
It's gonna be a lot, actually. It's a pretty big jump.
Essence 2 means you get a lot more essence to play around in both your personal and peripheral pools.
Nice.
Yep.
You can start buying charms that have a requirement for essence 2.
Cannot wait.
Some of your charms that say essence number of X. Now that X is 2. It's a lot. And then it's only another like half, but you're just going to have to wait until you'll finally make it to lesson 6, and I'm fucked. But there we go. Chat, if you have any questions, I'd suggest that you type them in now, throw them at us. While we're waiting for those, though, we can always trust one particular journalist.
With a sharp eye.
A sharp eye and a dull tongue. Not dull. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call your writing. I wouldn't necessarily call your writing sharp. Like you're not trying to be like incisive.
Cut to the quick.
But we can, at the very least, find out what's happening in the Journal of Five.
As River Jade questions not having taken action against Pellio's cruelty, Nyx takes a head-on approach, learning of his defining hatred for House Sinus and telling him that there are smarter ways to skin a house. Five Paths also knows that Sinus and the Guild are ripe to be driven apart. He hasn't shared that yet with anybody, though. Nyx #casually murders 600 hands, and learns that Mala is the reason that people were spirited away from Port Callan to save them. Altogether again, Pellio and River Jade have it out. Your actions were monstrous, but they're slavers. Aren't we all monsters? Damn it, Mala, not now. Don't get in the middle of this. But the mysterious woman has more secrets. They were foreseen, these Solars. The world was made for the Solars to lead, she tells them. She gives them all their fortunes. Minute can still be seen, but still light cannot. River Jade and Pellio will have each have the other's life in their hands. In 1 year's time, I think it was. Two figures are spying on us. As Pellio invents interactive theater outside, the others face down a huge beast man, the chosen of Luna, death from the river. This warlike barbarian wants Mala dead, and Pellio wants the town to hate House Sinus. That was my takeaway from the end of the session.
Nicely taken away.
So it seems like the question that was asked is, what are the characters' favorite colors? Not sure if this is a Monty Python reference. Might be. Because Irvana wrote it, what are the characters' favorite colors?
Very nice. Very nice.
Although if it was a true Monty Python reference, you'd have spelled favorite with a U.
Cast. It autocorrects in a lot of... Anyway. I've been going with sky blue, but I imagine Five Paths actually probably prefers like a deep...
Puce.
I was going to say like orange, like a burnt orange probably.
Nice.
The answer is either the maximum velocity of an African swallow.
Unlate.
Wait, what? It's been a while since I watched it. Or magenta.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a shade and it's black.
Yeah, that seems accurate.
Right.
Violet.
Oh, nice.
Black's still a color. And I know that there are people who are like, it's actually the absence of light. Like, yeah, it's also a color. Look it up.
Now I have to write this down so
Hashtag
I
John
remember.
gets mad.
I have lore 5 and I would like to make it
Hashtag
that
John
it's no
Red.
longer a color. Just kidding.
The characters were going to have a familiar animal. What would they like to have?
I actually really want to think on this, but my instinct is some sort of like raven. Doesn't really make sense, but that was my instinct. I'm going with it. Anyone else?
I believe the question might have come up in one of the earlier. Be that as it may, the answer was then macaque and remains macaque.
Macaque! Nice!
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'm thinking let's just stick with the spider motif.
You have a horse.
Yeah,
not
but
really
like
a
a
familiar.
familiar,
Yeah.
one that whose very soul she connects with. Spider.
I mean, ever since I found out it's a thing in creation, it's now a lion horse.
The Samato?
Yes.
That's a thing in creation.
Except they all end up with weevils. Womp womp.
Oh. Damn you, genie. Excuse me.
You ready?
I guess.
I'm not really fond of the maxim, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Partially because it's not metric. But I don't think that journeys should be defined by the start. Not necessarily. They have a way of changing as we move back and forth. The destination shifts, the different legs of the journey. The fact that sometimes you believe you're going in a straight line when you've actually been going in circles, and that was okay. But I do think that sometimes journeys have a moment where you realize that it was different from the moment you started. That moment where what you thought was just a simple A to B turns out that it was actually to Q. That there's so much more ahead of you, but that it's all right. That now you understand why you took the first step in the first place. Of course, when it comes to the Solar Exalted, that first step is taken for you. You didn't choose to exalt. You just earned it through a set series of criteria that you will never know, and that the unconquered sun will probably never tell you.
Why?
That doesn't make the destination any less important, but it definitely makes the journey way more interesting. Do any of you have anything that you need to do while you're in your hotel room? Just after Mala has told you a thing?
Post a watch against these beast creatures from coming back and murdering Mala. That's what I'd like to do. The watch will be me.
Excellent.
I'm happy to take it in shifts or, whatever.
I'll join you.
Oh, God.
Now I'll
join.
do.
You need your beauty rest. I understand.
He's really drunk too.
That's true. That's a good
I
point.
mean, not that drunk. I'm a little tipsy, I think. And has it? How long has it been? I mean, have we?
You're fine. You're
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Shucks. I kind of enjoyed being drunk.
A lot of people do.
Yeah. I'm hiding something from myself. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Nice. I'm sure that was heavy. Intense.
So Pellio's not taking watch.
He's not. No.
Oh my
no.
God! What a shit.
That's fine. No one asked. No one asked.
Do you really want him like almost
No.
half drunk standing watch of all the people you want? It's not a reliable.
Come in, adoring fan.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Otherwise, no.
Right. Well, in that case, your night is relatively uneventful, but it does mean you'll regain 1 willpower, and essentially all of your wounds, unless
yeah.
any of you are incredibly low, and I don't think you are. So you can just pour your beads back in your glasses.
Yeah.
Do you want to hold up one of your glasses just to show people? So our players are keeping track of their essence using 2 different cups. One which holds personal, one which holds peripheral, and then also their willpower is there as well. So they have their own little reminders.
Well done,
and
Liz.
their beads just scatter across the table. So we have that. We have that ready. Mala, by the way, does not volunteer for watch, but also probably doesn't assume that you would want her to. She does sleep. She sleeps very quietly, almost not moving a muscle. And for some reason, just prefers to curl in on herself. She doesn't take a bed. She doesn't take any blankets or sheets or anything like that. Just lays down on the tatami mats that are on the ground and just goes to somewhere. The following morning when you wake up, there's There's more noodles waiting for you outside the door. They're still steaming with a big plate over top of the large pots to hold in that heat. And there's a small, tiny little rose laid on top of the plate with a note that says, please make sure that you pay for your 5th guest.
Fair.
John, am I slightly healed?
Yes, you can heal him at this point.
1 level?
Yep.
Yay!
Hooray!
You know what? You've been patient. Just heal it all, and we'll move on.
River Jade's back in the house!
Shit!
She's dancing.
How long do you think it'll take before she...
back on the menu, boys.
By meat, I mean meat.
Hammer. Oh, that's funny.
Wait, where did I?
I'm gonna bring in the noodles and serve them, and make a note of the note. You know,
There was no interruption, not by Death from the River, or his companion, or anyone else. And the adoring crowds outside seem to be allowing Pellio to get some rest. Possibly because they're all a touch, delicate this morning. The carousing.
A lot of grousing.
It's like serving food to everybody here. I think it's time. We've discussed this in some detail, but I think if we are to get a move on recovering...
We leave today.
Right. The people of Port Callan need to be returned to their homes. I think it's important. And I think we can do this.
What happens when Sinus comes back?
Well, hopefully we can head them off.
Sinus will be with the other residents. They are the ones marching them back.
Well, then perhaps 2 birds, 1 peach pit, no?
Nicely put. I have no idea what that means.
We know the army is heading north of Nexus, so that's the direction we'll go. We'll be able to see if anybody diverged from the main group. I'll be able to figure that out pretty easily. A party of that size won't be hard to track. And then we can move on to Nexus once we've taken care of that.
I don't have all the details, Pellio, but I do know that House Sinus is possibly on the edge of falling out with the guild in Nexus. There's been a wedge driven between them, and it's a bit risky, but a maneuver of this size, if we were to dismantle some of their armed forces, perhaps it would strike a blow to the house and their reputation.
And the guild wouldn't want anything to do with them anymore.
Well, maybe.
That's an idea.
I like you. I wasn't sure at the beginning. A monk. But I like him. It's very clever.
Well, it's only based on what I've heard. But I think with all of us working together, we should be able to spread the word and...
Take down an entire house.
if that's what we feel is necessary.
Far be it for me to speak for the group, but it would bring me some small measure of satisfaction to see House Sinus crumble.
If House
Brick
Sinus
by brick.
crumbles, it creates a power vacuum. Do you have any plans for what would fill that? Is there another house that you would want to support, or do you have another idea entirely?
We bookmark that and see how many friends I still have left in Nexus.
You can hear chimes and a cart wheeling around outside as,
Ah, shit.
as war provisions are being doled out to the residents.
River Jade, you've been quiet. Does this plan suit yours?
Yeah, it does. There's one thing I want to do real quick. Does anyone have paper?
Of course.
I just look at I'm looking at him.
My
We're all
pillow is made of paper. I just take some out
clothes
from
are
the inside
made of
it.
paper. Everything's made of
Tear off my skin. I'm like, here you go. No, yeah.
Thanks. Do you have a writing utensil?
It's called a pen.
Yes, I do. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah provide.
Quill, actually.
I'm just writing
shut
a
up.
note
I've been thinking about some way of putting
that
it
just says-
inside the quill.
that just says,
I don't know.
it says, still light may no longer be seen. And I want to just like roll it up and tie it with some string and then find someone to deliver it to the golden puppy in some capacity.
Ooh, interesting.
So as
Thank you.
you can actually see that the golden puppy is still actually just outside the harbor with the destroyed wharf. So they're not docking, but they haven't left yet.
Okay.
Remember, it's only been like 2 days.
Okay.
And they're just currently trying to ferry supplies back and forth, which is not the easiest of.
Including my horse.
Yes, including your horse. Your horse is nay. and then just shows up.
Nice. So. She hates the sea.
Who doesn't?
Good point.
So in that case, if the ship is still there, hey, Five Paths, I have a job for you. You can run on water, yes?
I did once. I'm not exactly sure how to do it again, but Nick said that force of will is how we are able to accomplish what we accomplish.
Just
Do you think you'd be able to get this letter to the golden puppy?
Of course. And to General Howe. Yeah, whoa, Lieutenant Howe. Howe,
please.
yeah. Of course. I'll return in a moment. Is there anything else that you want me to tell Captain Medine or Howe? Silent as the grave.
How long are we going to be at sea again? I'm already feeling nauseous.
we don't have to go by sea.
What, we don't?
Oh,
No,
no.
No,
Oh.
I think we're taking.
Horses.
Oh, we're taking the horses.
Yes, I'm just delivering this message.
Oh, right.
Is there anything that you need to
The alcohol.
tell me?
It's the alcohol.
Are you going to be all right?
I think I'll be all right. Yes.
I'm just going to like scoop a bit of soup and carefully hand it to him.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, then I'll be right back. Don't leave without me.
We do.
Please.
We won't. You need your horse.
Wink.
She's here. She's
okay.
she's downstairs.
So John, yeah, I'd like to use Featherfoot style and lightning speed to rush across the surface of the water. It's mute, but this is like an incredibly obvious use of...
Oh yeah, anybody who's watching you will be able to see you do this.
Yes. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and if they ask, I'm a water aspect terrestrial exalt. But I don't know if anyone's gonna ask. But I'm just gonna say that and we're gonna see how it plays out.
Well, everybody on the ship has already seen you do it.
That's true,
anyway.
actually. That's a good
It's the people who are in the port who might
Yep.
see you do it.
I mean, would that make a difference to them? I mean, like, do people know enough about, exalts to know what to know that one is, oh, okay, well, in that case, you're cool. Like, do you know what I mean?
No, it's like an exalt would be, right, like either you're one of the good ones or you're not.
Yeah.
And it's not immediately apparent, right? So I feel like I look like I could be a terrestrial exalt, but I mean, that's not really a thing anyway, so.
So if that's the case, that I'm just gonna come with him. I'm gonna stay on the shore, just in case.
Hello. I mean, they're still ferrying things back and forth. You could potentially just get on the rowboat
Oh,
and head there
okay.
as they're doing
It's
it.
not as cool though.
I mean, you can choose to do it however you
Don't
like.
go there.
Okay.
Leave the option to you.
Do you want to just get in a boat?
No. Okay. Perfect. He wants to do things with style.
Yep. I'm gonna sort of skip across the crests of the waves as River Jade follows me in a rowboat.
Are you going to the ship?
No, I was gonna stay on the ship.
Cool. Yep, it's just me then. Yeah, so I'm delivering this note to Hal. I'm not actually sure what it says, so that's my whole thing. If he is still there, if he hasn't disappeared somewhere else.
So you make it to the ship. Waiting just with her arms crossed and looking at you is your friend and mine,
Captain Nadine?
Captain Nadine.
Oh boy.
Sure, I don't know what you're doing back here, but why do you need a ship if you can just run over the water?
Well, I can't carry everyone on my back, can I?
Then what good are you?
I'll have to think about that. I have a message for Lieutenant Howe. Is he still here?
Oh, he's somewhere down below. You can find him yourself.
Are you going to be able to get on to your next destination? I know we didn't leave you with... And I gesture to the mast, which
Don't
is...
be worrying yourself about the golden puppy. We've been through worse. No, we haven't!
It's true, that was...
And this
pretty
crew is sure and ready to take on whatever is there. We were almost gonna die!
bad. It seems like you have this in hand.
I think it's time to bring back flogging.
I'll see myself off.
Sure that you could.
I'll check downstairs. I'm looking for Lieutenant Howe.
How is in the galley, and he's taking care of the young man that Pellio kind of developed a pseudo rapport with?
The kitchen lad?
The kitchen lad. 12
Scullery boy.
score years old, wasn't it? If I recall correctly.
Right, when I learned about the word score, yeah, how could I forget? He's 146.
You're back.
I am.
I didn't think that I'd see you.
River Jade wanted to pass along a message.
And she couldn't come herself?
It was easier for me, and I'm not sure what the contents of the note are. Perhaps she didn't want to give it to you in person.
Well, sure. I'll take the note. I'll read it.
I assume it's nothing private, but...
It's just a straight up romance novel.
girl.
Oh my. Is that even possible? Oh. I should have figured.
Is everything all right?
It's about your mentor.
We met one who claims she can see, and that he is no longer to be seen. I fear the worst.
Is there anything that you need?
Guidance, but who doesn't?
Guidance.
This one was very strange, Lieutenant Howe. She claims that we have immense power, which I know to be true, but also that she is... And what was she? And I'm like, not sure what she said now. I'm thinking about it. I can't quite remember. It doesn't matter.
You're worried about him.
Of course I'm worried about him.
Why?
Well, he protected us, and that's going to be punished if he's ever found out, if he hasn't been already. Of course I'm worried about him.
He had faith in you.
Didn't seem that way.
No? Did he chase after you? Did he let you fall?
Well, no.
If he is the one who prevented your recapture, then perhaps that is faith that he's showing in you, it may be wise for you to return the favor. He may be dead. That is a possibility. But if he's not, I'll find him. And if there's a message that you wish for me to deliver to him, I will.
Could you tell him that I don't yet fully understand how I fit into creation, but that I know I'm going to make him proud in bringing enlightenment to it? You can change the order of those words. It doesn't really matter. It's the intention. Thank you. I can write it down for you if you wish. No, that's not necessary. And if you see Jaya again, I don't even know. I would want to know that she's all right. You could tell her that I'm all right. That I have found others.
The last time you saw her, you were both falling off the castle wall.
We were both caught.
I'll deliver your messages.
You are merciful. Thank you.
What are you talking about?
Just some...
Power.
I had to leave somewhere very quickly.
I'm a very brave sailor now.
Are you?
Captain told me so.
Well, that's a very fine thing for the captain to
She
tell you.
says that I'm the one who has to hold the mast up.
Well, and that makes you brave.
Makes me strong.
It does. It very much does.
Brave because I survived the battle.
You did.
I did.
And if there is to be another, you will survive that one too.
I'm going to be the greatest sailor the world's ever seen. I'm going to captain my own ship someday, and we're going to go around and we're going to help people. And then take everything on their ship.
Well, like a pirate.
No, we're going to help them.
Oh,
But we have to be paid.
so more of a mercenary then, I suppose.
Oh, but we'll help people who are in trouble whether they pay us or not.
A mercenary with a heart of gold.
Yeah.
I like you, and I can tell that you are going to be a great sailor. Can I
I'll be
give
the greatest sailor in the world.
Can I give you a word of advice?
Yeah?
And I try to I don't want How to hear if I can. Stay away from whatever your captain is drinking, will you?
What was that? I'm so ready to be the best sailor. I'll learn my lessons well. I'm tying knots.
Oh, good. It's a good thing to learn.
Captain says that the best sailors swab the deck a lot.
I gotta start somewhere.
She says that it'll make my arms grow
Unrelenting
super big.
optimism.
Maybe I'll even run on water. I'll practice every day.
Oh no.
Just like you.
We all have different strengths.
Yeah? What's my strength?
Well, you just told me you're going to be the greatest sailor in
I'm
creation.
gonna be the greatest sailor in creation.
It's on loop.
Just could you try for me to stay away from the things your captain drinks?
Oh, don't worry. I know everything the captain drinks because I'm the one who brings it to her.
So you know it's not very good for you then.
Well, it's all we have.
I suppose that's true. All right, well, I look forward to the day when the Golden Puppy Jr. sails the waters of creation.
Oh, I won't name my ship the Golden Puppy.
No, of course not. You're going to name it something stronger, scarier, maybe.
5 paths killing with fire.
I've made a terrible mistake.
Yes, you have.
This is to be my legacy. And then I do this and I run across the water again.
You just jump out the portal.
Naruto.
Goodbye! Goodbye, 5 paths! The next time I see you, I'll be the greatest sailor!
Try not to kill people with fire unless they really deserve it.
Do you think we'll ever see him again, Lieutenant Howe? Don't talk to me.
Wow, that was incredible.
I knew sending
Next
5 paths
time.
there was a good idea.
Well, I'm just. I was gonna say packing. I don't really have much. I don't think I ever unpacked.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm good.
Mala just has her sack with the metallic sounds in it, which she picks up and puts over her shoulder.
There's nothing else you need from your room.
You asked me to take everything from my room.
You don't have to come with us.
Are you telling me to stay behind?
I'm saying come with us if you want, but we're not going to force you.
I know, I've been granted my freedom.
Okay.
There's something that you probably need to see. On your way.
On our way to the camp. What?
I'm afraid I don't know.
All right, well, we might need to use your connections with House Sinus when we meet the army. How do you feel about that?
I believe I should speak to Pellio first. Lest I find out that Slashdance buries itself in my neck next.
Pellio,
Yes.
come here.
I'm doing this across the
How can I serve?
I'm saluting it.
I want to make it clear that I'm not part of House Sinus. That I don't tolerate what they do. But it would be disingenuous of me to not reveal that I have worked alongside them. Just as you did in your past.
12 years.
For me, it's been considerably less long. However, I've risen somewhat in their esteem, which will inevitably run out as soon as they've discovered what I've done. You may see me speaking familiarly with them. I don't wish you to believe for a second that I am part of them.
So you'll be wearing a mask for us. Am I to understand that correctly?
If that's what's required of me.
And you will relay all of the information that you receive from them to us without withholding any piece of information. The whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
If that's what the deal arranged is.
Well, far be it for me to judge anyone for employing the arts of deception in their work.
Very magnanimous of you.
Turned a new leaf.
excellent. Like that.
And far be it for me to turn down someone of such personal charm and magnetism.
Nix is like,
Very uncomfortable.
this took a turn. Excellent.
Slowly backs out.
No, she stays.
Right, because she's next.
You protected me last night. Don't think that won't go unremembered.
We need to be a little clever if we're going to take down this army and dismantle an entire house. I think it goes without saying that losing our minds and massacring one soldier just isn't going to cut it in this instance, but I feel the need to say it all the same.
Did I in any way compromise our position?
No.
That soldier was going to die anyway.
It's because you conveniently had 3 people to back you up.
Oh, I'm quite sure I could have dispatched that soldier on my own,
I
but
can't wait to see that. You'll just have to imagine how that would have looked.
however, the broader point you're making is a sound one, and one that I do agree with in principle. To let one's emotions compromise a mission is a
Stupid.
suboptimal. I wasn't going to say stupid, but thank you for putting words in my mouth.
You're welcome. Just imagine you're playing the role of someone
Oh boy.
who thinks before they act.
In a moment of passion.
But that would mean he would have to act someone who is thinking before they act.
Exactly.
But that doesn't make any sense. How could you think before you act?
He's the
if you
greatest
must act
actor of all
first?
time, apparently, according to everyone outside, so I'm sure he can figure it out.
Okay, can we just cut out the theatrical metaphors? With the greatest of respect, and I do have a tremendous amount of respect for you, Nix, but you've never performed on stage.
And I never will.
We will see about that.
Challenge accepted.
I take the point. You don't need to belabor any more heavy-handed metaphors on me, please, for God's sakes. I get the idea. Don't cut off any more ears.
Don't shove them down any throats.
Fine, I'll try not to.
Would you like me to secure some supplies? It will be a long journey.
Yes. And we were given a note that we need to pay an added fee to the inn because you moved rooms. Would you be able to settle that up?
I'll do my best. I should point out you did bring me into this room. Tied, as I recall.
I mean, we untied you once you got into the room. You could have.
It was an untying fee.
We're a little strapped for cash.
You're not, but I don't mind.
Yeah.
However, if we're going to begin this relationship on a system of trust, then we'll trust each other. And she stands up. She gives a very slight bow. She leaves her bag where she is, and then she heads downstairs.
I only look at the bag for a moment, and then I turn away.
The bag it's just a standard kind of rucksack. It's got a tied loop, which is not, it wouldn't be hard to open it.
No, it's okay.
She's fighting her deepest and darkest urges. What comes most naturally to her.
I'll control my impulses if you control yours. Do we have a deal?
Fine. I did not specify which ones.
So all of you are basically gearing to go?
Yeah.
Anything else that you have left?
No.
Okay. Horses are procured. Your 3 horses, standard bog horses. Your horse.
My horse.
Look at your horse.
My horse is amazing. Don't lick it.
Don't like horses. Mala, true to her word, does manage to secure enough sort of like bland and yet, well-packed supplies.
But does she bring the bread from the really good bread place?
Oh, the clock tower.
No.
Yeah.
She was
One day.
getting, long-lasting rations, not...
You could get some.
Like
Could we get
Lembas
the
bread.
clock tower bread recipe?
There's dried meat, cheeses.
Okay. I would like to just forgive me. I'll be back in just a bit. And I run over to the clock tower and I ask.
Hey! And everyone just starts absolutely everyone's super happy. You're back.
Friends,
Tell us a story. For some reason, they're all there drinking at 9:30 in the morning.
Poor Callan.
It is poor
There's so much else.
I will come back anon and provide you with a story the likes of which you've never heard. Before I do that, though, I must have a word with the patron. Not the patron, the innkeeper, the master of this establishment.
What do you want, Pellio?
My friend,
Yes.
Time is of the essence. I must be off with my companions. But please
No.
provide me with, yes, unfortunately, but I must insist that you provide me with the recipe to your bread immediately. It is a matter of the utmost importance.
Oh, I love this.
The recipe for my bread?
Yes, I need the bread recipe and I need it now.
Why should I give it to you?
I can provide you with an answer to that, but not just now. It's for something, it's a very important mission.
Do you have an intimacy that you're working on with this person, or are you just trying to, like, threaten it out of them? Or
I'm not threatening, I'm just...
give you an excuse to work your social. I'm Pellio.
Well,
Isn't that enough?
if he has an intimacy towards Pellio, it might actually be enough, right?
I'm just...
I'm just saying.
Do you know who I am?
Okay, so you're actually working on the intimacy, like if they have a positive intimacy towards you.
Yes.
Cool. I want you to roll your charisma, socialize,
I have a few dots in that.
Hashtag I'm fucking
and your difficulty
Pellio.
is going to be 2.
Oh man.
So
I
much
just poured water
sex.
like all over.
Oh no!
This was very, very full.
Oh, is Pellio here?
Oh,
I have
here,
that effect on
forgive me.
Ooh, thank you.
It's quite a pool you have.
Yes, it is.
Cool.
I don't think I need all of them. We'll see about that. As he
wow.
rolls, no successes.
That was actually pretty
Ladies and
bad.
gentlemen, I
Yeah,
apparently
one.
have a drinking problem.
Hey.
Spoke to 2 on a pool of 10.
Yikes!
But you still got the 2 successes.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And she scribbles down. She scribbles down the recipe and hands it to you. And I'm going to get something so that I'm no longer soaking wet.
Okay, bye.
Under the microwave. Under the microwave.
Tell us a story, Pellio?
So I grabbed the recipe. I'll be back soon. Story time in a few weeks.
Weeks. I just gave away my one prized possession.
Just it's to cry.
The secret is safe with me, I say as I run out the door. And I run back to my acquaintances. I wouldn't yet say friends, but I'm working on it.
We'll have intimacy stories together one day.
I have so
Like
many.
good ones. Sorry, go ahead.
I have some good ones.
So you head outside the town.
They're just not known.
At the town outskirts, there's a man and a woman standing at the edge. The man looks like he definitely does not want to be there. But the woman. Where are you going, Pellio?
There is a Pellio here,
Oh God.
but there is also a Pellio here. Keep this Pellio safe. Keep the flame of this Pellio alive in your heart.
My heart is, my heart's ready to accept your acting.
Is she unbuttoning things?
Just clutching the pearls.
I'll join you on the road
Nope.
in
No.
15 minutes, 10 minutes.
Wait, why are you joining them on the road in 15 minutes? What are you doing? Shh, quiet. He has one last lesson for me.
Yes, a very important matter of acting lessons. I must impart some
Is it
wisdom.
going to be a lesson in enunciation?
Yes, enunciation and diction. How to...
I'd love to receive your diction.
I don't understand. Didn't you instruct some of these people
Look,
yesterday?
he's all right. But you've known him for like 3 days.
Can I just start riding away, please,
you
for the
can.
love of God? Okay.
I've known him for a bit longer than that.
Nix is leaving.
He's a nice man.
He's so nice.
Pass.
a good man.
Nix is leaving.
We can catch up. I just want to make sure everything's all right.
Friends, I promise I will return to you in 12 and a half minutes.
He
12
has
and a
no
half.
stamina.
Stamina 1, yes.
You saw my dot. Dot.
Singular. Well, we're riding east. You can follow the trail.
Yes, I will follow the trail. East, you said? East. Yes, right.
Give me your lesson, Pellio. Just teach me acting.
I'm just gonna go.
I don't want to react anymore.
Come along, Mala.
We'll,
Let's make sure Nyx doesn't
I
go
just-
too fast.
We're riding away,
And I
I think.
put my hand on her lips.
Okay, hold on a second.
Should do just between you, like.
She's my wife.
Friend, how long?
I'm not your friend, buddy.
I'm a friend to all. I am Pellio.
oh God.
Do you love this woman? Do you wish to see her thrive? See her happy?
Wait, is he watching?
How long have you shared your life with this person? Surely you wish to see her flourish. Such talent, such capacity.
All right, teach your lesson.
Oh, but no, my friend. This lesson I must impart to her alone.
Hell no.
Then unfortunately, I will not be able to provide your wife with this final piece of theatrical wisdom.
Harold, no.
Use some weapons.
Harold, please.
I'm sorry, my dear. Your husband has made it clear that you cannot be given this lesson.
Is the lesson fucking my wife?
Of course not.
It is. And then he takes her hand and he starts walking by, and she starts to go with him, but she keeps looking back.
No one... I mean, but fucking is such a crude word.
I'll remember your boffo forever.
Is that a euphemism?
I'll keep the boffo with me.
Harold, wait.
What?
May I have a word with you alone?
Is having a word with me alone fucking me?
Only if you want. But actually, I was hoping that I might speak to you in private for a moment.
He turns around and he walks back, and then you see that his wife starts taking a few steps, and he just
Hang on just a moment.
approaches.
Harold and I must parley
What is it?
man to man. Harold,
Yes.
the lessons that I will share with your wife are lessons that she herself can employ in the future.
I feel like it's been more than 12 minutes. Still not with us.
Lessons that she can share
What would you give him 30?
with you as well. So,
That sounds an awful lot like you're going to teach my wife how to fuck. And I'm not interested.
if you knew how the learnings, how the work can be applied, the work is applied not simply
I've been
in the
married to my
bedroom.
wife for 40 years.
I will be teaching your wife how to breathe, how to speak words, how to embody.
In 12 minutes.
Yes. And the process of embodying is a lesson that she can apply to many facets of her life, including her life with you in the matrimonial bed. Now, if
Get
you,
out.
do you wish
Get out.
Do you wish to experience pleasure beyond your wildest dreams?
God, he's just.
And as I say this, I would like to instill
Ooh!
the intimacy
God.
of trust in my prowess. And
All right, you're at a difficulty of 5. Go ahead. I'll give you
he's
2 dice for this.
Not having it.
Dear sweet mother of God.
I will spend a few motes on this.
All right.
I will spend a mote.
All right.
Just to keep things interesting.
I cannot believe the first rolls of today's session was to get a recipe for bread
Yeah.
and to convince a dude to
I
let
know.
him have sex with his wife.
I told you we
Heroes,
were doing
folks.
Pellio.
Yep.
This is what we're doing.
Yep.
Please tell me that you botched on a roll of that magnitude.
Oh, you did not do well, my
I
friend.
did not do well.
Oh my god. Wait, no, it's okay because 5 is the difficulty, so you did get.
No, it's not.
Didn't you say
Change that.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, you failed.
Yeah, I fail hard, man. I only got one success.
He rears his fist back and just socks you in the jaw. It's not nearly enough to do any damage to you, but just
Yep.
like.
Yeah.
He turns back around, and then you see her go, Harold. Harold. He comes back and he's shaking his hand. And then he pulls her to his side. Let's go. Harold, I'll follow you anywhere. And they just start walking away.
Did anyone see this happen? Or was
God,
it
I
just
hope
the
we
three
did.
of-
Malo's still there.
I kind of offered for her to come along, but like I'm not sure if she
She
wanted
waited.
to. That's weird, but okay.
If
Flex.
she feels that this is in any way, shape, or form strange, she doesn't make any mention of it and says, I thought your lesson was rather poignant.
Yes, I did it for Harold. I pitied him. I saw how his wife pined for me.
Wow.
So I thought the only way to bring them together is to have her believe in him once again.
Yesterday I told you you were kind.
Yes.
I'm pleased to see that that hasn't changed. Will you ride with me?
I will.
And she just starts heading off after the trail.
I follow along, awkwardly riding because I don't have any dots in ride. But it's a sort of I'm trying to play it off like I know what I'm doing.
I will tell you that you get a sore ass if you haven't learned how to ride a horse. You just don't have the thigh strength and the muscles
Yeah.
needed. It's bad news.
Yeah.
Bad news
That's
bears.
good.
5
Later.
pass as well over here. It's
No, yeah, no, I'm gonna be.
Also no.
But he knows how to work through that sort of
It's used to
pain.
I feel a burning in me thighs, but it's from the horse.
That's weird.
Wait.
No, not again.
The journey is actually going to be quite long, so we're going to move forward for quite a few days. If there's any conversation that you wish to have with any of your compatriots, now's the time. In the meantime, all of you can refill all of your willpower.
And your moats.
And your modes.
Moat. Should have spent way more motes on that. On that Harold roll. Anyway.
I do hope that when you return to us, we go, wow, 2 minutes, Pellio, new
Yes.
record.
And a bloody
You would
lip.
be the only one possibly saying this.
Are you all right?
You're misjudging him. He spent that time in order to ensure that their marriage would succeed.
It was
What,
that
you-
bad, hey?
I don't believe that there was any ill intent in his heart.
I'm also like trying not to laugh as we run.
One day I will prove you all wrong. You all think so little of me.
I don't think little of you.
I said you were kind.
Yeah, other than you, Marla.
Oh.
You're very skilled, Pellio. You just need to learn what situations are best to employ those skills.
And I was raised never to trust anyone who believes only in themselves and not in the strengths of the people around them. But you'll come to rely on us too. I know it.
I know it.
I don't say anything. I just keep
Yes.
I just look over and I notice her not saying anything. And I reach into my pocket and make sure I still have the bread recipe.
wait. I cannot wait for this.
The worst part is she doesn't know that it's the best bread. Because
She's never had bread before?
She's never had that bread.
Oh, shoot.
She never went to that.
I never
No, but
went
she
to...
will.
Just wait until Pellio
when we
bakes
make
her
it.
some bread.
Yeah.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, it will be.
I did have a conversation to have with these people, at least tentatively, as we ride along. I know we don't know what to expect when we get there, but I do know how Sinus is not ill-equipped. It will be a relatively large military procession, I imagine, probably with several dragon-blooded
I have
heading it.
extra weapons.
What?
I picked them up from those kids. I need to fix them, but I have them. If we need them.
Oh, if we are to arm perhaps some of the... create an insurrection or something.
Yes, yes. I had another thought that crossed my mind. You have a degree of ability in costume design, do you not?
I've mended a few pairs of clothes.
If we were to replicate the fabrics that I took from the dead soldiers we dispatched with such ease, we could present ourselves as being members of this same army and infiltrate in disguise.
Do you remember how successful our last attempt at disguise was, Pellio?
And it failed. I will remind you all.
Failed miserably.
It failed miserably, and I will remind you of why it failed.
Geologist and the two people.
The
getting married.
geologists.
No, but after that, it did very well. With Lady Rain, with Captain Medine.
That was always him.
And I will
When we
remind
have
you
nothing
that
to do with
the plan,
Oh, right.
the geologist plan would have worked if you'd have followed my advice and not uttered a word. And unfortunately, certain members of our troop
It's us, right?
didn't follow direction very well.
Yeah, us.
And I think the key part here is to remember to take direction,
Who's
right?
scavenging for food, by the way? Could I have you roll your
Could I?
wit survival?
Could I
Yes,
help?
you
I wanna
can.
help.
Because, I mean, everybody can roll their wit survival if they need to, but let's just make sure that you're well equipped
Yeah.
throughout your.
I'm going to attempt to aid.
So, however many successes, wait before you roll next. However many successes they get are going to amount to your roll.
Oh, okay. Add successes or
Add
add
dice.
dice? Cool.
I,
Can I add my successes and then roll the additional dice?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
It's going to be a lot, isn't it?
I got 2.
I also got 2.
I got 4.
So you can roll 6 extra dice. So I assume that you're riding east.
Yes.
Well, that's 10 successes.
Yikes, sir. Doodle.
Holy, I rolled
So-
3 zeros and that's sick.
One thing that I should point out is that
Pate.
as
We're in like
as you've been hunting over the past, because this is gonna. First of all, you are going to have to cross a river, although you can probably ford the river as opposed to needing like to sail across it. But one thing that I should point out is that as you've been hunting, bringing in lots of great fresh meats, berries, all that, you're eating very well. It's honestly like the 4 of you working together like really know how to travel well. It's also the first time I think I've ever had a party where every character has survival. And like also not an insignificant amount of survival, but there's something that you notice because you rolled 10 successes and you can't ignore that.
Thank you.
as much as I want to.
Always on the outskirts of your hunting, there's a lone wolf who keeps sort of poking her head around. She looks quite hungry, and she keeps trying to sort of approach, but then never approaches too closely, and then stays back as you collect whatever you've managed to trap or kill.
I'm going to make a point of leaving some meat behind whenever I'm collecting, because I don't want her to be hungry and attack us out of desperation.
Okay.
So I'm trying to keep her fed.
Do we also know that it's there, or just Nyx knows?
Nyx is the one who definitely knows. How many since you rolled 4? You also know. You two haven't noticed. So you can feel free to let them know. But
Because I want to make sure it doesn't attack us at any point. I would like to use friendship with animals approach.
Oh my god.
It's been the charm I've been wanting to use forever.
okay.
I would like to.
From your time with the
I
squirrels in
would
the
like
forest.
to approach and just reach my hand out, like with a bit of some of the food that Nyx has left, and like see if it will eat from my hand.
So you're approaching a wolf. I love the trust that you have in your essence. You're like, oh, it's a wolf. Just shove my hand at it with food on it and see if that'll work.
Nyx is like,
She's
nope.
very nice.
Friendship with animals approach, I'll point out, just for this, is predators are less susceptible to this charm, and most will simply let the solar pass unmolested through their territory.
Yes.
But and it doesn't work on animals that are maddened by pain, hunger, or disease.
Or
However, she doesn't
familiars.
look maddened.
Yes.
So, I'm going to have you roll
Yeah.
your charisma survival.
Nice.
And I believe you have a specialty in animal ken.
I do.
So you'll be able to add that extra die.
Yes. And
And I'm going to give you 2 extra dice for that stun.
For the sheer cojones.
Yeah,
Yeah, seriously.
yeah there's a little bit.
what is the difficulty? Can I ask?
The difficulty for this particular action is going to be... You're using Friendship with Animals approach?
Yeah.
2.
Okay.
You can do it, Jess.
What on
If you botch, I will
earth
be...
is she doing?
We're re-rolling, I think, at that point.
Yeah, the one wolf will just take all 4 solars
I
out
got
of
4.
4 successes. So the wolf
Yeah, we're-
trots closer and just looks and sniffs at your hand and then looks up at you and tilts her head and looks back at the food, looks back up at you. And she stretches, you've seen dogs do this, stretches so her front paws are stretched out in front of her. And then comes back up and then very, very carefully just takes whatever, I guess, meat that you're handing her, takes it and then just and her ears just flatten back onto her head.
I would like to reach out to try to gently pet her if she will let me. But I'm like doing it like this, like
Okay.
slowly.
So you're coming from underneath, not overhand.
Yeah.
So you start approaching with your hand, and at first she's just sort of, she freezes, and her head rises and rises and rises, but soon, like, it can't rise any further than it already is. And her muzzle is warm, soft.
No.
So the 3 of you are watching basically River Jade charm a wolf.
I'm very impressed.
I just pointed out that the wolf has been staying far enough away from you that it never approaches you close enough so that it spooks the horses.
That's nice.
What is she doing?
Do you want a bit more? And I reach in, I grab some of my own rations, and I give it to her.
She takes it. She, gulps it down.
Have a nice day.
The wolf just comes back around, circles you once, and then melts into the tall grass.
Bye.
She must have a way with animals. I didn't know.
I'm impressed. To know you were good with wolves.
I didn't either. Ha.
Okay.
have you always enjoyed, I don't know, did you ever have pets or spend time outdoors?
We had a forest right next to my forge, so my family's forge. So I would kind of just go there, and there were a lot of creatures that like to hang out there. So yeah, I just jumped back on the horse.
Do you have a connection with nature, River Jade?
I guess so. I don't know. I've just never really thought about it. It's just always part of my life. So sometimes it's just easier than dealing with people. So.
Read intentions? Any intimacies towards nature, I guess? I don't think it's going to happen,
I think her guile still sucks, so you should be all right.
It's still 1. It's back to 1 though.
I got 2 successes.
Do you have any intimacies relating towards nature?
I think so, but like, I'm checking.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Would that?
Yep.
So I have a minor intimacy towards Giara of Hometown Love.
Oh. It's nice.
That night, when you make camp again, Mala, this time, just very quietly reaches into her bag and pulls out a very small frying pan, which she sets over the fire after making a makeshift sort of, caddy for it, and very quietly starts to hum as she starts delicately spicing whatever has been caught, just turning it over and over. There seems to be this meditative quality for it. She just looks, when she normally has quite a serious, solemn face to her, here she's not smiling, but she relaxes. You can see that her shoulders fall, that tension just leaves her.
Do I recognize the song? And if
No.
I don't, could I attempt to harmonize with the hum?
You can. The song is perhaps predictable enough for you to do so. Please roll me your wits performance.
Nice. That's a good pool. Is that your best pool?
2 extra dice.
It is, yeah.
Well, wits performance is his best pool.
Yeah.
John will remember this.
He's an actor, man. That
I
makes
guess
a lot of
also
sense to me.
charisma performance.
Charisma,
And
manipulation.
manipulation performance. You have a lot of 5s in attributes, man. Jeez. Whoa. He's 3 5s.
Come on. I'm not rolling well today.
Oh, boy.
I'm really not. Oh,
Oh no.
God, no.
Did you watch?
Oh my god.
I only got
Successes.
2 successes.
2 successes is still enough.
To harmonize?
It just sounds.
I know.
Just sounds really basic.
Yeah, it's really.
It's not terrible. Just,
So there's now 2 people who are humming the fire. But it actually sounds almost like they rehearsed it.
As I hum, could I try to casually see if I make eye contact with her?
She almost has her eyes closed as she's doing this, but then opens them just enough, just towards the end when it's almost ready, and she looks up at you.
I look away.
Let's see.
That's how you do it, guys. I don't know who that voice was.
No, but keep it forever.
Pellio the First.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you do it.
Now look here, kid.
If you're gonna inherit this name, you got a big mantle, you know what I mean? Okay.
You make sure that they look at you, and then you look away.
Pellio the First, that's amazing.
Pinch your cheeks first. You get that blush going.
All right.
That night, the wolf approaches your camp and puts down a single flower that's been growing by the side of the road. Just puts it there, and then almost as if it's embarrassed, she turns and goes back into the.
I see her drop it off though.
Yeah, she broaches not close enough because the horses still
Yeah.
figure out a little bit. She leaves the grass,
Yeah.
just puts a flower down, and then goes back.
I would like to pick it up and just put it in my hair.
Oh my God, she's a Disney princess. It's happening.
Cannot. It's amazing.
It's happening.
That looks mesmerically stunning on you.
Mesmerically?
Yes. I'm captivated. That flower just frames your face in such a perfect way, don't you find?
I would have to agree. I think it's quite nice.
I'm just like really red in the face and kind of looking away.
Are you embarrassed, River Jade? We don't have to.
No?
No, keep it. Yes, no, keep it. My goodness.
It was.
It's completely changed her.
Leave it.
You look wonderful.
Does anyone need more food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
A few days later. Yes?
We're the worst.
I like it.
A few days later, at one point, Mala pulls up her horse and just.
You all right?
Yes.
Do you want tea or something?
Or perhaps you're seeing something. Is that it?
I can hear.
I listen really hard.
Stopping my horse too.
It's probably nothing. And as she says it, like, it's very clear that she's not lying. It's almost like she's trying to convince herself.
Well, what is it? I can't hear anything.
It's whispers. It's close.
What is? The thing you wanted us to find.
Yeah, what are we looking for?
It's Nyx.
What?
You don't have any birthmarks, do you?
Actually, one on my butt.
Yeah, one on my. I'm gonna show her one that's on the bottom of my leg.
She reaches her hand out to you. She's still not, like, there's still this other hand pressed at her temple, but she reaches her other hand out to you, and then she, half blinded, just gropes for your own.
I'll take her hand.
And then she starts walking off into the forest, just without any other word.
Cool. I'm going.
Should we follow her or kind of just wait for her to return?
No, we should make sure everything is safe here, but we should follow. This might be important. I'm happy to wait here if you'd prefer, but I think we should all go.
All of us. Shouldn't someone stay and keep an eye on everything?
We're like far from civilization, yeah?
You're pretty far from anywhere else at this point.
Okay.
I should point out, though, that she's not moving very far into the forest. You can still see her and Nyx, although you know how like you'll have very dense forests where you go like 2 meters in and that's it, they're gone. Like the forest here is a lot more sparse.
Okay, so we can see from where
And then you see that she's crouching down at the edge of a tree. River Jade, you notice that the wolf is close by, but is just, at this point, is being very shy and looking back, but of course still following you.
Okay. I would like to
When
take.
she crouches down at the edge of the tree, you see that there's a very simple cairn, which has been erected here, but it's small. It's too small to hold a fully sized human. But the pile of rocks is absolutely it's completely certain that it's not a natural phenomenon. The cairn being, it's basically a grave, except that it's actually just rocks stacked up on each other. It's what Kirk was buried in.
No, there you go.
It's also in Pet
Spoilers.
Cemetery.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers for Star Trek Generations, a television show that not television, a movie that only aired way too long ago.
Yeah, a long time.
Anyway,
It's like a great.
there's at least one
marker.
person here who's seen it. And then she lets go of your hand at that point and takes 2 steps back.
What is this? Whose is this?
There must be more around here. It can't just be this. It wouldn't make that much noise.
Can I start digging up the grave?
Next.
So as you start
Look.
pulling the rocks up, there isn't anything underneath except that once you start pulling, it's clear there's no person or even a creature under here, no bones, but instead a hole. And the hole you see that it has a slight slope to it, and it looks like what might have been stairs at one time, but it's been so long that they've worn away,
Secret tunnel.
possibly.
What is this? Mala, whose whispers are you hearing? Is it possible to know what language or where they're coming from?
I'm going to tend to the horses.
How big is the
Of course.
hole?
It's big enough that you could, if you really were careful, you could lie down and sort of slide down. It's pretty tight though.
Yee. Nix is probably fine with it.
I was going to
Nix
say,
is
like,
not fine with
Spider
this.
Woman, do you want to get in there?
Yeah, I do.
Mala heads right back to the main trail and just
Are there any other cairns nearby? Because she was saying that this couldn't be the only one. There must be others. Could I try to find more?
You can look. Sure, that's
I'd like to.
that'll be a perception. We're going to call it a perception investigation.
Oh, sweet.
What about you? What about the rest of you?
I'm looking around for any additional markings of any kind other than the now disassembled cairn that might indicate who or what was here.
Okay.
I'm going to go back and talk to Mala.
Okay.
I would like to ask the wolf if there are any other markings. Around.
Full party!
Okay. We're gonna start with you. 6 successes. No, there are no other cairns around that you can see. One thing though that you do notice is that the trees that are around this cairn, they're not the same kind of trees as the rest of them in the forest. They're the same species, but not quite the same colorings or markings. So either this was a very special little area or somebody planted these trees. Pellio.
I walk over to Mala. She's okay.
I mean, she's not ignoring you, but
No.
there's definitely some difficulty in her eyes.
I sense, Mala, and please forgive me if I'm being presumptuous in saying this, but I sense that you struggle in the same way that I do
How?
with the headaches. I'd like to try to instill an intimacy of trust in her
Oh?
for me.
Oh?
Okay.
Oh?
Okay. Her resolve is 4, but I'm going to give you 2 extra dice. And I'm going to reduce the difficulty by 1. So it's 3.
Okay.
Go ahead. While that's happening.
Manipulation, socialize.
So, yes. No, this would be charisma socialized.
Charisma socialize. Doesn't make a difference.
But you can feel better about
So,
it.
for you, you're trying to get a sense of.
I'm trying to see if there's any additional kind of markings as to, like, I'm going to go into down the stairs.
I'm going in the hole.
Well, eventually
I am
I will.
also readying myself to go.
But I'm looking around for additional markings or language of any kind.
I want you to roll me your perception lore, please.
Oh.
Your difficulty, however, Scott, is going to be 4. River Jade.
Don't fuck.
I want to change my question since they're focusing on this. I want to ask the wolf, have you seen any other people around here in a while? And I'm gonna give some more meat.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're just like flat on her head.
Okay. Yeah, I asked the wolf a question.
Yeah, you are. Never.
Okay. Thank you.
6.
She's just walking away. What does that mean?
Hell?
She steadies herself on your shoulder. I wouldn't call it a headache. It's. When you hear applause, can you pick out the individuals? Can you hear just one person clapping?
There have been times in my career where I've only heard one person clapping.
And that gets her to smile. Just for a moment,
awesome.
but then it's gone.
Yes, I think I understand what you're saying, Marla. You hear a voice in your head.
I hear so many.
What are they saying?
Wish I could tell you. But there's so many, I can't pick them out.
What did you hear when you were standing by those stones over there?
I heard someone calling out to Nyx.
What did the voice sound like?
It spoke a language I don't understand. I just heard her name. It sounded like something we're gonna have to learn about in 5 minutes.
Hey.
Yeah, I saw that coming. I was like, oh, he's readying
Just
something.
drop a lampshade like right on it. We're gonna take a 5-minute break. It's a 5-minute break. We're gonna have a timer again this week, so you're gonna be able to see it. You're gonna know exactly when we'll be back. We're going cave diving, y'all.
Splunking.
Stay tuned. Old Griffin, I can appreciate you just emerging just to curse me. You wouldn't be the first person to curse me based on my running games. You will not be the last.
John!
I can't decide if those are some of my favorite moments or some of my, most painful.
Painful?
Well, it means that people want to keep playing. And as an entertainer, I know that you always want to make sure that you end with people wanting more. But as a storyteller, there are times where I want to know what happens next.
Fair. This is one of them.
But just as it's been said, we do get to find out the answer to this one now. It felt like the voice was familiar. Not to me, to her.
Do you recognize which... Excuse me. I haven't warmed up my voice. Do you recognize which language it was in?
They come as thoughts, not languages. I wish it was easier.
Do you think it's safe for Nyx to go into that hole?
Pellio, I don't think there's anything about our lives that's safe.
I mean, relatively. Will she come out of it? 'Cause I think I need her around. She's very, very handy.
Something's calling her.
It's true.
It's not up to me to decide whether she answers.
Can I get you anything? Some water?
You're very kind. You are very kind. And she seems comfortable just to stand there, just leaning against you slightly. For the 2, 3 of you?
Yeah, I rolled 6 successes. I think it was perception lore was the roll?
Yes. The configuration of trees that have been planted around here, as you sort of, make your way around, you realize that the trees that are different have been planted as a circle.
Would that indicate perhaps a place of any sort of energy or power? Like, would that indicate anything to me that I would be able to tell?
A circle, not a disc. You should be able to figure it out.
Oh, I see. There we go. Yep. Okay.
I would like to go to the hole to stand with Nyx.
I'm getting ready to enter the hole.
Nyx, do you have rope?
I'll be fine. It's not even a drop.
No, do you have rope?
Yes, I have rope.
Tie it around you. Give me the other end.
Do I see them
You're
about
too
to
good to
go
me.
into...
Yeah, you see them preparing. It is not hidden.
I'm
not
going
hidden.
spelunking.
Hang on a second. And excuse me, Marla, I'll be back in just a bit.
I'll take care of the camp here.
I walk over and, Nyx, I just had a word with Marla, and she seems to think that she was hearing a voice from inside that cave, calling out to you in a language she couldn't recognize, or recognize as a language. It just sounded like a voice speaking to you specifically. I feel that's probably something you might want to consider before you go into it.
Is this a place that you know? Have you been here before?
No. I've passed not far, but I've never been here.
Have you intentions? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's true.
We'd be foolish to leave and not check it out.
I agree.
Think of all of us, I'm the most cautious and careful.
And I've got you.
She's got me.
I'd like to go if it's safe.
I'll determine if it's safe.
Of course. Well, I think we all should if it is, of course. But
But if it's a small space and would collapse if too many bodies were down there, then let me go first.
This place might have significance to you because of your caste. Yes. Perhaps it is a tie to your heritage or your history, your essence. Please find out what you can.
I'll read all the books I can down there.
They would probably be in pretty good condition. Sorry. Not appropriate.
Look for first editions if possible.
Any foil Charizards? Okay.
What? No.
Sorry.
I mean, I'm okay with this. Don't get me wrong, but
A solar needs a hobby. Pokemon, I don't know, whatever. Okay.
I guess you just gotta catch them all.
Yes.
So who's headed into the hole?
Me, I am.
Yep.
Just you?
Apparently, we are letting Nyx go first, and if she doesn't come out, we're not going in. No,
Well, you know, that's
not
one
If
way
she doesn't
to.
come out, I'm going in.
Yeah.
That's one way to re-roll your character.
That's what I meant.
I mean, I meant because I'm going in to save you, but yes, also I'd probably be.
Also, you'd be dragged by the
Dragged
monster
in.
that eats her. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Laughs.
So you're headed in. Pellio, what are you doing?
I'm going to go back to Mala. As I walk by, Nyx, I have complete faith in you. And I just walk away.
Means a lot. Aw, what a
See,
dude.
+1 to all rolls.
Shit.
She.
His confidence is astounding.
All right. So you're headed in.
Yeah.
This is happening. Mm-hmm. So you really have to sort of lie down and just sort of slide down this bumpy staircase. It seems like this has been. It probably once was much larger than this, but so much earth has sort of fallen into it that the stairs have been caked in it, and so the opening isn't nearly what it once was. As you continue to go down, it becomes completely dark. So do you have an extra light source, or?
I mean, I imagine Nyx is the kind of person who carries a little tinderbox.
She doesn't use her cast mark.
No.
What?
She's basic.
Also, she doesn't want anyone down there to know
Yeah.
zombies or whatever. She's
Correct.
like, whoa, solar, whoa. Who said anything about
Those zombies, they'll tell anyone. They're such gossips.
yeah.
So she's gonna light the little tinderbox.
Brain.
That's fair.
Solar brain.
That's fair. So as you continue to slide down, it becomes darker and darker, and you realize that you're going down far enough that it's getting cool.
Ooh.
The earth around you is humid, but the air hasn't been exposed, and it's starting to get somewhat musty. The stairs digging into your back as you continue to sort of like struggle down. You can still hear the voices from up top if anybody speaks with you, but they're getting distant. And that's when your torch catches a very small glint, and you know that you're reaching the end of the staircase. When you get down to the bottom, there's enough room for you to sort of maneuver yourself up into a crouched position, and now you're in a tunnel, and there is a chamber beyond, but there's a few rocks in the way, boulders that have potentially rolled down this staircase to form a temporary block.
So, boulders that have rolled down the staircase to form a temporary block. So how much of the room can I see with my light?
So as you guide your light forward, you can see that there's a plinth sitting in the center of a room that's maybe, I'd put it at 5 meters by 5 meters. Nothing terribly large.
Can you tell me what a plinth is?
I'm gonna get you the actual definition of
Thank
plinth.
you.
Hey. We're all about accuracy here on Full Party, guys.
Well, because
And
I would
fun.
feel really dumb if I
Not
said
in
the
that
wrong
order.
thing.
That's fair.
In the hole.
There is a
However,
plinth.
I was correct. So
The whole.
a square base or a lower block as of a pedestal, or a slab-like member beneath the base of a column or pier.
Yeah.
So there's like a slab.
We're all here. Yeah.
A
Everyone's on
slab.
the same. Just checking.
Okay.
The glint that you saw is that at the base of this chamber, as it were, the ground is packed tightly, and there's some inlaid metal that is supposed to look like gold, although you suspect it may not be, that forms a circle around the plinth itself. You can see that there's a few torches on the walls. Here, the ceiling inside is higher, enough that you'd be able to stand without bumping your head, but not much more. There's a couple of torches that are set into the walls itself, and there's, on this plinth, you can see that there's a streak of 5 lines across it, deep brown, over what looks like a marble rock.
So the plinth is made of marble.
Yes.
Nice. Is there anything written on it aside from those 5 marks? 5.
No.
Paths.
Okay. Can I go around to all the torches and light them with my little tinderbox?
Sure.
Nice.
So you light and as you light them, the metal in the ground starts to absorb some of the light. So while it gets light enough that you can see much more clearly, it's clear that there's something in this room that is trying to dampen the amount of light that you see.
That's really cool.
I want to go over to the plinth and lay my hand on it where the markings are.
It becomes clear once you lay your hand on the top that it's the slab that's on top can be moved, almost as if this was something like a sarcophagus.
I want to try to push the lid off the sarcophagus.
When you push the lid off the sarcophagus, you can hear the grinding of stone as it just, and when it falls off the other side, lands with a resounding thud, which all of you can hear.
Nix, you good?
Inside,
Yeah.
there's no body. But what you see are farming implements. A rake, a hoe, a sickle. All of them resting on what seems to be a very fine bolt of silk. And then they're just there, just lying there. But what's curious is that each of these implements looks to be very well worn, except the sickle. So the hoe, clearly shows a lot of wear. The rake, its tines have been worn down over years and years of use. But the sickle looks pristine.
Come on down.
Okay. I just climb down the rope on the stairs.
You've gone though, yeah?
Yeah, I'm hanging out at base camp, whatever, with the horses and Mala.
My buff shoulders are like hitting off the side.
Nice.
Excuse me.
I make sure to just motion to Pellio if he wants to. I point at the ground and I say, come on,
there
and I
anything else in the
disappear
room?
inside as well.
I'm going to have you roll your perception investigation.
Excellency.
It's easy enough for the two of you to make it down if you choose to. And also, I should point out, it will be relatively easy for you to get back up.
Okay.
Save for a cave. Sorry?
What? Did you say something?
So we can leave the bit of rope at the.
You can do whatever you need to.
Okay.
You get the.
What did you get?
I got 11 successes.
What?
Oh my god. Try it.
It's like I took
I know.
all of your successes.
I know. I'm rolling back. Yeah, no, listen.
But it does go around the
It does
circle.
go around.
It
Yeah.
changes up.
Yeah, it's you tonight.
It is me.
Yeah.
I got to investigate all the things, guys, right before it wears off.
Yes.
Yeah.
The circle, when you stand or break the circle at any point, you see that the light starts to flare up just a bit more. And then on the walls, scribblings in Old Realm.
Oh.
Damn it.
Don't worry, everyone.
Oh, thank the little baby
Yay.
iPads. Okay, we're good.
But they're only visible when the light of the torches is at its fullest, so the circle itself has to be completely broken. There's items underneath the bolt of silk. There's deeper, further into the plinth itself.
I would like to see what those items are.
So you're removing the others?
Yeah.
When you lift the sickle out, you can see that the blade. So, do you know what a sickle? Yeah. So,
I do
Grim
not.
Reaper's weapon.
Oh,
It's a
that's
scythe.
so that's
yeah.
that's a scythe. A sickle is like a smaller
Mini, yeah.
version of it.
So a smaller scythe.
Yeah. Someone
Tiny
call
little
it.
definition.
Someone call it a kama. The blade itself has, like, when you pick it up, you can almost hear the way that it just shing through the air, and it's shot through with a yellowish metal.
Says River Jade. Watching.
And underneath the plinth, or sorry, underneath the silk, as you lift it away, there's a sketch, a marvelous sketch that stretches the length of the plinth itself, almost as if it's a scroll that's been unrolled. And it shows a man wearing a hat, a wide-brimmed hat, very calmly just threshing away at grain, a farmer. However, the steps that he's taken behind him are glittering. The steps in front of him are dark. And while he's surrounded by what look to be either ghosts or spirits or malevolent faces, it's not clear, the farmer continues to cull. And there is a disc on his forehead. Or sorry, a circle on his forehead.
Looks like mine. Exactly like mine.
So the circle here.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Exactly.
Sean,
No.
Yes.
No, blood or whatever.
I would like to use the lore I have to figure out if it is an artifact
I'm
weapon.
going to pass the sickle to you. Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Go ahead.
Okay. So that would be lore and
It's going to be an intelligence.
intelligence.
And if I may, once she sort of penetrates the circle and these writings become clear, if I can see them, I'd like to use.
So she's standing at the plinth looking at it. She's not breaking the circle.
Oh, I see what you mean by break. Okay. If I
also-
step on the circle?
That still works, yes.
I also have specialty lore
And
artifacts.
you get an extra die.
And can I use motes as well?
Do you have any lore charms, or is it one of your...
I do have lore charms.
Then yes, you can.
Whee. Okay.
And I'm going to use Sagacious Reading of Intent, which reveals any intimacies that the author of this text may have, as revealed in the writing.
Do another.
Which costs me a lot.
Go for it.
Okay.
It's linguistics.
Pellio. The wolf is lying down now, just outside the tree line close to the camp. And every once in a while, the wolf lifts her head up, looks at you for a second, and puts it down.
I got 6 successes.
Cool. 6 successes.
And 4.
4 successes for you. So, it is an artifact weapon. It is an artifact weapon that would be known as a kama or a sigil.
Comma? Spelt like commas?
K-A-M-A.
No.
Kama.
I totally wrote C-O-M-M-A.
I'm going to give you more information later on, just because it's a bit more specific.
Okay.
But one thing that I will tell you is you'll be able to recognize if you encounter another weapon made by the same person. And you'll be able to get an idea of what its evocations will be, but we'll get to that a bit later.
Okay.
Because that's going to take a considerable more amount of time to do
Yep.
it, but you're pretty sure.
This is a really powerful weapon. And I think it should belong to you.
Scott.
It's an artifact.
Whoever wrote this message was writing it in a moment of pain and pride. Whoever was doing it clearly didn't want to be required to write it, but clearly felt that everything that they were writing was important for someone sometime to realize the truth. I'll give you the message in a moment. Oh, I should point out, by the way, Jess, that the comma is the metal that's shot through it. It's orichalcum. Nyx, underneath the scroll, is you see, instead of it being bone, as you would expect, it is almost like a mummified version of a corpse, but without the sort of horrific decay that you would have expected. Something has kept this very intact. And it's so familiar. A man who, in one hand, is holding just one bundle of grain in one hand, and in the other, here, holding a very wrinkled-looking piece of parchment, and looks utterly at rest.
Does it look like there's anything written on the parchment?
It's rolled up,
I would like to take the parchment from the corpse.
but as you reach and you touch the parchment, all of it just crumbles away.
Oh, no. Fuck. Sorry, that's there goes your first edition. Oops,
He's
history's
very
gone.
busy reading things.
The message, translated as best you can. Someone who gave so much. Someone who gave everything. And someone who gave everything else could not compare to this one. This one managed to save everything through life and through death. A prince to no one but the sun itself. As gentle as the deaths he provided.
Could you repeat the last two sentences?
A prince to no one but the sun itself, as gentle as the deaths he provided.
Writing so
Writing
fast.
is terrible.
What does it say, 5 pounds?
I relay the message with reverence.
In a saucy accent.
Apparently. Saucy. Hell. Right, so like. I know.
Gotta get out of this hole.
Up the rope, up the rope. It just comes down. No!
We die.
I think this is a tomb, of course, in much reverence. I think this man provided much, straddled the line between life and death. Perhaps was once a farmer and then became a harvester of souls, perhaps. I know that sounds distressing, but...
A little distressing.
Yikes! Harvest some wheat, harvest some souls, I am out for. No.
I mean, when I cast
Pellio.
Seems River Jade's friend is curious about us. Do you have any experience with these types of creatures?
Oh no.
No, I'm afraid I don't. There weren't many wolves where I came from.
Does the wolf look threatened in any way, or?
No. She's just watching. There's a droopiness is the wrong word, but definitely, you ever seen a dog and you know the dog's sad?
Yeah.
Oh.
Bit hangdog, the
Yeah,
tail's down. Her ears just flat.
Okay. I'm gonna try something that could backfire spectacularly, but
That's why we're playing Exalted, folks.
in my time in the theatre, we would often look to the animal kingdom as a source of inspiration. We would try to imitate the behavior of animals because their behavior was truthful, it was essential, it was eager, it had an earnestness and a beast-like quality. It was stripped of all affectation.
Despite her obvious discomfort at whatever's happening in her head right now, she is actually paying attention and listening.
I would like to try to embody a wolf and speak to the wolf through play, through theater, by sort of that kind of thing. That's more of a dog. Admittedly,
No,
but-
this is more of a cat.
Oh, everyone is a critic. All right.
Nexus time show.
That's fair.
My one-man wolf show is coming back to haunt me.
All right. So it's more of like a
Call Pellio.
kind of thing, you know. And I sort of like.
We can hear this in the hole, right? Maybe?
Very faintly.
And I take a piece of some of the ration meat and I put it in my mouth, and I sort of wolfily on all fours walk over to the wolf, and I lay the meat down, and using my nose, I just sort of like I nudge the meat towards the wolf with my nose.
she looks up at you and she looks down at what you're offering and then looks back up at you. And she just starts inching forward without really lifting her belly off the ground. Picks up what you've offered. And then just moves a little bit closer to you. What position are you taking right now? Are you lying down? Are you on your fours? Or?
No, that's not good.
I need this.
Oh goodness, here, turn off your mic first.
Okay.
So you're not. There we go.
All right, we'll head back to the rest of you.
Fab 3 down here.
Screw the rest of this.
I guess I'm gonna examine the artifact with River Jade as well. That's quite magnificent.
It's powerful too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Does it bear any resemblance to what the man in the drawing is wielding?
The comma?
The comma, yeah.
You gave it to... Didn't you give it to Nyx?
Yeah.
Did you hand it to her?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
So
just
you
like
can-
observing it, and
It looks very, very similar, yes. It has... So a comma, for what it's worth, is just a stick. And then the blade comes out at the top of the stick. And so a scythe is much more curved. A comma has a very gentle curve, and it ends in a pretty wicked point. It's typically bladed only on one side, the inner side, because
Right.
you are threshing with it. However, the wood here, you see that it's, instead of it being just straight wood, which is what you would expect, the wood underneath is a very, very deep, deep purple. And surrounding it is a cord. The cord, as it's going up and up the shaft, is made of a very, very deeply tanned leather. Black. The blade itself is what's shot through with orichalcum. There are no sigils, there's no patterns to it. Almost as if you stare into it, it's designed to look and shift so that it's not clear which patterns are here and not. There are no notches in the blade. So when it was replaced, either this thing is indestructible or somebody took very much care to make sure that it was put in a perfect state, or it's brand new and no one's ever used it. Are you touching anything else? He asks with no agenda whatsoever.
This corpse that's holding a bag of grain and
caressing
used to hold the thing. Does it have, like, what kind of clothes is it wearing?
Simple farmer's clothing, but the clothing has also been preserved. So instead of it being what you would expect, like just like, rotted away clothes, we're looking at, very, very simple cotton wrapped around him, a vest which still shows just the center line of his chest, some well-defined muscles, well-defined abdomen, and
It's a hot
his
corpse.
his arms, while they don't have the thickness
admire
of
his
somebody who is just obviously like super jacked. They have a strength running through them, definition of musculature. But these are willowy arms, not willowy. Willowy's the wrong word. Slender,
Lithe.
lithe, sure, lithe would work.
Does he look old?
No,
He's dead.
he looks like he was in the prime of his life. His hair is a magnificent white, not the white of age, but the white of someone who shines with light. Pants standard leather, feet in sandals.
Does he have like a pouch or a bag, satchel of some kind?
Not that you can see.
I'd like to reach out my hand and touch his forehead, where I saw in the drawing that there was the cast mark.
Reaching out, you see her hand reaching out towards the corpse, and the circle that's on the ground sizzles under your feet. Not enough to hurt,
Yeah.
but then as your hand lies on the forehead, you can feel warmth. It doesn't light up. You don't see the disc on the forehead anymore. Instead, what you hear are thanks. Thanks from so many different languages, so many different people. Thanks that come through tears, through laughter, through joy, through pain. Children, mothers, fathers, soldiers, the elderly, from kings and queens, duchesses, counts, baronesses, chiefs, chieftains, mercenaries, sailors, monks. And all they have is gratitude for you. The one thing they don't know, the one thing that all of them have tried to find out and failed, is what name to attach to the gratitude that's there. A name that they can't repeat, but a name that you know. Except for 4 other voices who still don't call you by the name that you want to recognize, but instead give you a different one, a familiar one that makes more sense here than it does here. And they speak of this name with not a reverence, but fraternity, sorority, love. River Jade, 5 paths. The circle is blazing on Nyx's forehead, her hair blown back as if by some unseen force. It lasts for 5 seconds. And then the room grows dark, save the circle on your forehead. Not the ground, not the torches, but just the light is all that remains. Pellio.
As the wolf is, I guess, sizing me up, do I get a sense of whether or not its mood has changed?
The wolf is
or-
sizing up, but what sort of, the question that I had earlier was what
Yeah.
position?
I'm still in wolf form. I'm still pretending to be a wolf, and I'm really enjoying it. Actually, like I'm enjoying this moment of like play. It's kind of a catharsis. It's like, yeah, I'm just enjoying pretending to be a wolf and just kind of hanging out. And you know, I would like to try to engage with the wolf in some playful depending, you know what, let me preface that with a question. Do I have a sense of whether or not the wolf is in any way hostile to me?
Perception survival.
I'm gonna need one of
willpower?
these.
Yeah.
All right. Your difficulty is 2, so you'll need 1 success on those dice that you're holding in your hand.
Oh, look at that. There's your luck. There it is.
3. Wait, 4 total.
No, she's not being threatening towards you. She's puzzled, and definitely there's sadness. But the puzzlement's starting to edge out the sadness a little bit.
Okay.
You know, there's like I can't feel too sorry because what the hell are you doing? But there's definitely you have her attention. She's interested
Okay.
in what you're doing.
So I'm gonna do like a couple of rolls on my back and some kind of vaguely dog-like maneuver. You know, rolling around a little bit. Maybe I go and I grab a stick and I start one of
I
those.
really want us to emerge at this point.
Yeah, I also really like to see what happens.
No, not yet. Not yet.
And as in the midst of it all, where I can, I look over at Mala and just give her a wink and a smile, and then I go back to my play, my little play experiment with my wolf friend.
So she gets up and she walks over to you. Her tail still low, her ears still slung back. And then she very gently reaches forward and she closes her muzzle around the stick and takes it from you, and then gently puts it down on the ground next to her and then looks back at you.
And she's now standing, or she's
She's
back?
standing.
Okay.
I'm still standing.
I do one of those things where I like lean back on my back legs, and I kind of like wag my tail a bit.
Now you can merge. But we're going to go back to the 3 of you
Okay.
just while you're in here. Maybe you don't emerge. Well, it'll
okay.
depend on what you're doing down here.
And I make sure to wag my tail in Mala's direction, just parenthetically.
Good God.
And now
I understand.
we can close. We can close that bracket now.
2 birds, 1 peach pit.
Weird. I tried.
Thanks, you're glowing.
Ugh. Thank you.
This is incredible. This must be of some relation to you, spiritually, or...
I've never seen this man before in my life.
No, but your essence, Nix. I don't understand it much myself, but he was trying to communicate with you. Pass something
trying
along.
to communicate with me.
Pass something along. The people who buried him here obviously had much respect and much love for him.
Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. All I heard was thanks when I touched his forehead.
He probably did a lot of good.
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I guess he's. And I kind of pointed his forehead. He was like me in some ways. I guess he found a way to help people with that. And look where that got him.
What do you mean?
I mean, he wasn't very old when he died,
No.
clearly.
But
Well,
he probably changed a lot for the better during his time.
the dragon-blooded can live, as you know, several centuries and not age a day. I can only imagine that we may be similar.
The dragon-blooded aren't hunted like we are.
That is true.
You start hearing from above.
What the hell is that?
I don't know, but I think we should
Did the rest of the wolves come? The rest of the pack? I assume she has a pack. I don't know much about these things.
I don't know if she does. I mean, if she did, she wouldn't be hanging around us as much as she has been. But let's go figure it out.
Before
So-
leaving, I'm gonna like do one last look in the room.
So you two are leaving?
Yeah. I can give Nyx's elbow a squeeze on my way out. Just like a, I don't know, I'm here with you, you know.
That's sweet.
I
Nyx.
just pat her head.
But I
No.
miss it.
Once they've left and you are
stuff
now
on
the
the
only
stage.
person in this chamber, only lit by the circle on your forehead, the messages change.
Oh,
Oh.
on the walls? The ones you can't read. Sorry.
The gratitude now falls away to questioning. Why? How? Where? Why? And then, please. And then the questions fall away, but the silence is pregnant. As if there's an answer that this man is trying to give, but no one can hear it. The bundle of grain held in his right hand reflects golden off the light that emits from your cast mark, until it too withers to dust and blows away, leaving just the man himself. And then there's please. But this time it comes from one voice. Please, I want to do better. I needed to do better.
You did fine.
The dawn always comes. It will never be the night forever.
What are you trying to tell me?
Live without regret.
I don't regret.
And you are already better than me. It's good to see that I can learn a lesson now and then.
You're dead.
Yes.
Did someone betray you?
Yes.
Oh,
A friend?
I thought so. It was me. I betrayed myself.
Only some know your name.
That's how I like it. The one thing that's mine.
I respect that.
I chose my own.
So did I.
There's so many who will steal from us, who have stolen from us.
You have to be on your guard.
My one question is it better to retrieve what was stolen at any cost? Or rebuild? And his body turns to dust.
oh shit.
and just sinks.
And I kind of just say to the empty room, you forgot the other option. Steal something better. And then I'm gonna leave the hole.
Mic dropped.
I agree.
That's how she lives her life.
Chills.
When you head back up,
Yeah.
so this is for you, Five Paths, and you, River Jade.
Yes.
You can see not too far away
Yeah.
Pellio on his hands and knees, shaking around. You know, you can describe what you're doing. Go for it. Why not?
So yeah, I'm on my hands and knees, and I'm putting all my center of gravity and my weight towards my hind legs, and I'm kind of like, you know, and I'm sort of like trying to engage the wolf in play. I'm trying to get the wolf to play with me and to kind of brighten up a bit. So I'm, you know, rolling around on my back and, you know, trying to wolf it up to the extent that I can as an actor who has never left the city, parenthetically. So
So it's his
The
like
urban wolf.
the urban wolf.
the urban
yeah,
wolf.
it's an urban actor's interpretation of what he imagines a wolf would be like.
yes.
I know, right?
A Nexan
A
wolf.
Nexan- yeah, exactly.
Mira, I love you so much.
Just outside Port Callan.
Exactly. A Nexian wolf in Port Callan-ish.
River Jade, what is he doing?
I think he's attempting to be a wolf.
Is that what that looks like to you?
Yeah. He's also wagging his tail a lot.
Yeah, I'm wagging my tail in Mala's direction. And then I see you guys emerging, presumably from the cave.
Do you want to? We can keep watching all day.
We're both just like fascinated.
I emerge.
I look over and I go onto my hind legs, and my forelegs come up, and I go "Arr!" in your direction, Five Paths.
The wolf turns her head to look at River Jade, and there's just
Yeah, I feel that. I'm just gonna go over to the wolf as well, but I'm not getting down on my hind legs. Everything. I still got the flower, even though it's like maybe a little dead.
It's a bit dirty.
it's lost a couple of petals, but it's still a flower.
Okay. I'd like to just reach my hand out in case it wants to be pet.
At this
She
moment
wants
now,
to.
this is when you emerge.
I would like to.
Why?
Sorry.
Good
Oh
Lord.
no,
I didn't
that's
mean
it.
to
That's all I
interrupt.
say.
What more do you need, really?
I'm having too much fun. So I'm not going to stop
Yeah, no,
pretending
please
to be a
don't.
wolf. And I would like to come up to River Jade and rub my head up against your leg and invite head pet as well. And then I look up at you. And I just look at you as Pellio, but I'm still on my forelegs. And then all right, I'll leave it at that and see. I need this.
So I'm gonna just like awkwardly tap his head gently,
Nix, is this
and then kind of like what do I do?
Nix, is this something that you've seen actors do in the city? I've never
I don't go to a lot of plays. Really?
You strike me as quite cultured.
Thank you.
Thank you for saying so.
Thank you. Take out a teacup and start to drink.
It's made of bones.
It's made of bones. It's just a
I'm
skull.
gonna move towards Pellio and like put my hand out.
Yep, okay. I look over and see the hand, and I scurry over and I nibble at the thumb, and just sort of.
Friends now?
What the? This is like his way of becoming friends with her.
He has to become an animal.
He has to play
do
a
it.
part.
And I sniff at it,
Poor guy.
and then. God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I go behind you and I sniff your ass.
It smells like rain. No, I'm sorry. Let's not be weird.
Let's not be weird.
sorry,
he
guys.
says.
He says being weird.
John's lost us forever, by the way. I just realized.
Tell me if it's too much, please.
Well, it's happening. So
Oh, it's not too much for me.
Amazing.
It's not too much for them. It might be too much for him.
I don't have any food or anything. You don't need to. I'm sorry.
I take a bite.
Of his butt?
Yeah. Yeah.
I hop away.
You hop away, I
Yeah.
follow.
Oh, so it's going to be like that then. I reach down and I try to find a stick on the ground.
The wolf just steps back and then looks at River Jade.
Yeah, I'm giving the same look back. I'm still like reaching out in case, but I think he's trying to be your friend. One day I will get better at deciphering what it is you're trying to tell me. I'm guessing you don't. Do you have friends? Do you have a pack?
It isn't that he's trying to be a wolf. It's that he's so bad at it.
Wait, sorry, did the wolf just speak?
I heard it too.
I look over at the wolf.
Mala looks up, turns her head. The wolf looks back at her. And I think we'll end the session.
I have some questions.
I have so many questions.
I am very interested to see what the chat decides this decision point's going to be. There's been a few things.
I was like, you'd think it would be a bit of a no-brainer, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Chat, as we're entering into After Party, it's up to you to decide what today's decision point of the game has been. It can be an action, it can be an event, it can be something that happened through a PC or an NPC. But it's up to you to make your suggestions and make them quick. There'll be a vote. It will be entered into the logs forever.
Whoa.
I will point out, and I will say it after I get all of your answers, that there has been one special achievement earned this session.
Impersonate an animal.
No.
Of course.
But what did we learn? We're going to start with Scott.
Yeah. I added a couple new intimacies to my sheet, ties to other members of my party. That's something I learned, is my relationship with them, which is great. I think more importantly, I learned that, or I guess 5 paths, learned that we have pasts and that we can in fact find out about them, which is like super exciting for him. That's a big deal. Maybe he wants to find his.
Jess?
Yeah, can I piggyback off of that? Because that's a
certainly
huge
can.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the fact that solars have a past,
Yeah.
like connected to them. That's an insane thing.
Amir?
The combination of experiencing the trauma of escaping the burning tea house and then being imprisoned for a while, what felt like a long time, has given Pellio a real fear of confined spaces. So seeing seeing that little passageway made him want to walk in the opposite direction very quickly.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah, that makes
fair.
Pretty good intimacy to throw down.
Yeah, I think so. May I borrow your pencil?
Of course.
And
Animals,
Liz?
so, you know,
Same thing with the past selves, but she doesn't really know what to make of it yet. She's just like, why was this calling to me? What can I use from this now? Like, because what somebody did a number of years ago isn't going to impact what I do with me now. It's completely different circumstances, so she's like wary of if it's even going to help her.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's completely fair. We have our poll ready to go for this decision point. So we'll lock that in and start now. Pellio tries to teach deep breathing exercises, but narrowly escapes a deep beating.
Oh my
River Jade charms a wolf in true Disney princess fashion. Nyx connects with her past self. Pellio attempts to speak with a wolf and discovers his fursona. So that is an exclamation mark. Vote. And then a space, and then 0, 1, 2, or 3.
very nice.
Vote now. That's one of the interesting things I think about solars in general, right? The idea that just because you had a past life doesn't mean that that past life has any sway over you at all. But it is your past life. So what do you do with that? What do you do with that kind of information? And clearly, you've only just gotten just like a tiny bit. You've had a fraction of a mysterious encounter. And where do we go from there?
Yeah.
I think it's just speaking as a player or like someone who is viewing that interaction, I find it super telling about Nyx, and I learned a lot about Nyx today. Wants to know more, wants to sort of uncover things, discovers there's things to take, is going to take them, gets advice, asks questions, but then says, "Don't worry, I got this." Do you know what I mean? Like you already, I don't know, I got the sense that you already knew. It was like, here's some options that your past self is providing you with this wisdom, and you're like, I got wisdom, it's fine. You know what I mean? Like you have a life plan. That's the sense I got, which is awesome.
Yeah, because when he said that he'd been betrayed, her immediate question was, who betrayed you? Meaning like, you let yourself get played?
Yep.
How?
Yep.
And they said he betrayed himself. I'm like, oh, okay, well then.
Well, you're an idiot. Ugh, past me was such an idiot. Do you want to?
Aragorn says, it's kind of interesting how Nyx just takes things at face value, though. A supernatural encounter that A, causes her to hear voices, B, gifts her with a magical weapon, C, creates a conversation with a past life, and D, taps her essence without her awareness control, and she just rolls with it.
She's super pragmatic, though, right? Right? She's very pragmatic. She's like,
Is
yeah,
she?
this is
Yeah,
it.
she's a combination of pragmatic and also very like confident in her own abilities. So when something happens that she doesn't plan, she's immediately like, "Am I in danger?
Side of the table.
No." So I'm going to see what I can glean from this.
Let's find out what that decision point is. I think that's a good dovetail into that particular conversation. So the decision point of today's game, session 9,
Crazy.
is Nyx connects with her past self.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think that's the first time that the decision point has gone to you, is it?
No, I think I got
No,
one.
there was another one.
Yeah, one of the early
Is it
ones.
Five Paths who still...
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I honestly, I'll have to look at them all.
I sort of got it.
What's the deal with that?
I think you got one.
You get nothing for it. You get nothing. I will, however,
But the
tell you
pleasure of knowing it happened.
that I must say that I'm incredibly impressed by your ability to just cede the space to each other, which always helps. Letting a night cast go into a place to find out about herself is one thing. Trying to win the favor of a wolf by imitating one is another. But the achievement that was earned this session, whose title is Brainiac, goes to the first player character to outlore 5 Paths Ascending in a session. And that goes to you.
Yay! Well, if it's specifically 5 paths. Like you have to be better
Like
than
Lord, the
5.
twilight of the group. Yeah.
So that's 5 experience for all of you. 2 solar for all of you, except River Jade, who will get 3.
Woo! Nice.
Folks, I got to tell you about a special place. It's a place that's near and dear to my heart. It's the Beanduck Discord channel.
Oh.
If you want to find out more about the artifact that they've recovered, and you want to find out about it before next session, you're going to have to check out the Beanduck Discord channel on the full party channel in that server.
And you'll put it in the spoilers chat?
I will put it in the spoilers chat. Look, it's a place where everybody goes to discuss the game after it happens. Some people stay in the full party chat just to discuss it as a whole. People will discuss the intricacies of which you would have had to know everything that's happened up until now in the spoilers only chat. But you can also find information about all the other shows in Beanduck there as well, and it's a great place to just meet and react. You can find the link in the chat right now. Click on it, join it. Super worth it. It's also down below on the channel page, so you can look there. Now, that means that there are other Beanduck shows. What could they possibly be?
Tomorrow we have Friend Request at 6 p.m. and we have a plethora of guests, and they're going to be playing Brawlhalla. And there is no Depth of Fields tomorrow because Eric is away, but Wednesday we have Cosplay Cave at 6:30 with a photographer, a cosplay photographer.
That's cool.
How amazing is that?
That is super cool.
We're going to chat about probably like photo shoots and
Yes.
sort of the art of maybe shooting at cons and stuff.
Yes.
Okay, I'm down. That sounds
Look
cool.
how excited he is.
I'm excited.
What you, yeah, okay.
It's easy to be excited. What's actually really easy to be excited about, though, is that Full Party is going to come back.
Yay!
And at the end of that session, you guys will be eligible to boost your essence up, which is one step towards my having more problems.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You guys are on your way to some things. We have so much to figure out. But it wouldn't be possible without our wonderful crew who's here that you can't see, but you know they're there. Our moderators, Aragorn's been holding down the fort wonderfully today. Thank you. If anybody in the chat has any questions, I mean, now's the time, because I mean, at this point now, all I have is to thank you for.
Aw,
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
very cool.
But I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to be up to. I'm looking forward to see how Pellio manages to completely surprise me one more time, because it just happens. It keeps happening.
Literally every time. Yeah, exactly.
Who's going to fall for him next?
Anytime Amir says, this might backfire, but I know
Like,
we're in for a
let's
treat.
go.
It's always so great.
Dio, the Yarn Dragon, says thanks for the great session. Nice.
Thank you, Dio.
Thank you.
It's appreciated. Dice creep. Weirdness, you know what it is. Dice creep is an absolute thing when it comes to Exalted. But we're ready to meet it. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
You know, the thing that I'm really kind of curious about, though, is that a comma is a martial arts weapon for mantis style.
Oh,
You wouldn't, though.
You're not getting my sickle, bro.
You can't use it!
I don't care. I'll keep it out of spite. I'll melt it down.
Teach you to use it.
I'll melt it down.
Oh, fuck!
Wait, I want it back.